Hi, I want to talk about how to be a great cook. This is for my Pecha presentation, 20 slides, 20 seconds apiece, and it's going to be how to be a great cook. Being a great cook means a little bit different things to different people. I'm a cook, not a chef. It is important to understand that. A few rules. You will fail. Understand this and accept it. Otherwise, you're just going to have a hard time. Get ready to try the same recipe many times because you are going to fail again. And then never give up. It is important to never give up. Otherwise, something that could have been great will cease to exist and never be. Couple more. Patience. It's a good thing to have. It makes the world go round. As you've probably heard, patience is a virtue, and it very much is in cooking. Understand you're going to make a mess, so just be ready to deal with that. And then have fun. If you're not having fun, what's the point of doing it? Who are your friends in cooking? Well, your friends are things like spices and herbs, things like oregano, parsley, cumin. They go great in dishes and they help liven them. Low to medium temperatures are your friends. Can't be understated. And then sugar, spice, and everything nice. Things you should stay away from. High temperatures. They tend to burn things more than get them done quicker. Although they do get them done quicker, but like I said, they're going to burn it or overcook it and it won't be as good. Also, don't leave the grill. That is a very bad habit of people. And then cutting into food to check if it's done. That is very bad. It makes the food look mauled. Some important utensils to have are sharp knives so that way you can portion things easily. When you cut through, it doesn't tear, it just evenly cuts. And then thermometers to check things like chicken, the internal temperature, making sure it's done. And then correct size pots and pans so there's no overflow or a giant pan that's not needed for anything. Prepping is the first step in all cooking, but poor prepping makes for a bad time. If you don't gather everything, you're going to have a headache. And if you don't know what spices to use, that's okay. A lot of experimentation goes into prepping. So just feel free to have fun with that. Some more prepping. Make sure all ingredients are available and ready to use. Don't start using a recipe if you don't have everything. You'll just panic and not know what to do and probably give up. Again, don't give up. If you're using any fruits or vegetables, make sure to wash them as they may contain pesticides, and then make sure any utensils are out and ready to be used. More prepping. Even if you're using an oven, make sure to go ahead and preheat it. Otherwise, it's not going to be ready when you need it later on. Familiarize yourself with whatever recipe you are using, so this way you don't have to keep glancing back at it. And then measure all your ingredients properly. Still more prepping. Contains spices and herbs. Certain spices and herbs have categories. And then certain ones can be mixed and matched. Things like cayenne might go on Mexican or fish, and then things like cumin might go on Indian. But don't add too much or too little. It can cause issues. As you get started cooking, always start with whatever takes the longest to cook, followed by adding parts of your dish that don't take as long as to cook. So this way everything gets done. If you make sure your timing is good, it'll all come out at the same time and everyone will be happy with it. During the cooking process, maintain proper temperature control. Not too high, not too low. If it's too high, it might get burnt or overdone. If it's too low, you might not get it done at all. And then never leave your food unattended. That goes back to one of the rules. And then stir it occasionally so as to keep things from sticking or burning or anything like that. Towards the end of the cooking process, you're going to want to make sure that you clean up as you go, so that way there's not as big of a mess at the end and you don't get as worried about it. Also, check the temperature of the food to make sure that it's done, and then have someone else go ahead and start setting up tables so that way you don't have to leave it. As you're serving it up, make sure to keep warm food warm and cold food cold. That means setting up hot food on hot plates. So that way, to keep its temperature. Cold food, set it off to the side on maybe even a different table. And then use the proper utensil with the correct dish. We don't need a slotted spoon for soup. And then make sure just all the food in general goes out at the same time. Beverages, things like coffee and tea, generally cater to your older clients or customers. Juices, soda pop, usually your younger generation. And alcohol is famous from anyone 21 and up. And of course, make sure to have all that stuff, and you should be good on beverages anyway. During the presentation, understand the common rule of thumb, which is people eat with their eyes first. If it doesn't look good, then it might not be good, and they may not eat it at all. My personal thoughts on it is smell comes first, but we'll stick to the general concept. And also understand that smell creates appetite. So if it smells good, they're going to want to eat more. Conversation keeps people enjoying their food. So you might want to talk about your recipe if it's not a secret, just to kind of let everybody know where you get your passion from. And then maybe history. How did you come to learn about these things? Some more conversation, because it cannot be understated, is keep it light. If you're talking about things like politics and someone gets on their, you get on their nerves, it may upset them. They may not eat. If you know jokes, laughing equals more eating. And then, of course, drinking. If you're drinking, everyone has fun. And then we come down to desserts, probably everyone's favorite part. And we're talking about the yummy kind, not the Sahara kind. But if you look at dessert, it's funny because it relieves stress. And dessert spelled backwards is stressed. And then, of course, who doesn't like chocolate cake? I mean, really. And then finally, you have the final cleanup, because nobody likes a messy kitchen. Make sure to go ahead and start washing every dish that you can, putting other things into containers, and then sanitize the dishes, dry them, and put them away. So this way, it's just a lot easier. This has been my presentation. Thank you.